Welcome to another episode of The Winner's Circle on the It's More Than Just Money Movement channel. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe button. Give me those likes and comment and let us know what your thoughts are about the conversation that we're having today. It's a different kind of conversation. We usually interview one person, but today we are interviewing two gentlemen who are in business together. We're going to get to know more about their stories, about the work that they're doing, and as well draw some inspiration and insight from the work that they're doing. We've got Mr. Oros Mampofu, who is an actor. Yes. He's also a businessman, and he's done incredible things in South Africa. If you're watching from the US or anywhere else in the world, this is the man you have to look out for. And I've got the man himself, Mr. Neo Cheka.
Hey, your tone changed. They make me scared. The man.
Yeah. Mr. Neo Cheka.
My brother.
He's a businessman. He's good with network marketing, network-based marketing. So he's done big there. So we're going to have a conversation with these gentlemen. Gentlemen, welcome to the Winner's Circle on the It's More Than Just Money
100%.
Movement channel.
Glad to be here.
We appreciate your presence. And yeah, ever since you guys got here, it's been laughter after laughter.
Man.
I don't know if you guys are laughing at me.
We're laughing with you, eh?
Yeah,
we're laughing with you. Not at you, my brother. Thank you so much for having us. It's an honor to be in these spaces, you know, to have an opportunity to engage, to connect minds, and try to just figure out a way forward, especially in these interesting times.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Oros, a lot of people see you on TV, but they don't know your story. You know, yesterday I said something like, we always focus more on the glory, but we forget the story. You know, behind every story, more specifically a story that has got some element of success in it. There's usually some sort of a story, you know? On the glory side, there's a story side.
No, I can't agree more.
Where do you come from? Did you just...
I didn't just pop out. You know, I'm a son to a father and a mother who was born in the Eastern Cape. My mother was born in Mthatha. My father was in Epizana.
Outside KZN.
Yeah.
It's not. It's in Eastern Cape,
very
but
close.
It's very close to KZN.
Very close. Yeah. I was born in Mthatha in the year 1990. I wasn't born alone. I was born with a twin brother. So I have a twin brother, someone that I can say has been a gift in my life, someone who's been joined to the hip with me, I think, for a very big majority of my life. I have 3 sisters, of which 2 are in the entertainment industry. Yeah. One of them you might know as Lunati Mampofu, Emma on the River. She's done a lot of other projects on Netflix, Showmax, across the board, just as I have. Sure. Someone who's amassed a lot of success. I have a youngest sister. She's in Cape Town, just newly married.
Nice.
So congratulations, Yilili, if they were ladies. We would be asking for you relating there. Then I have my older sister, Sister Ankis, the rock of the family, someone I think who has the biggest heart, you know, someone we look up to, the biggest fighter. And I think big family, hence why I want a lot of children myself.
Sure.
I grew up in a family of laughter, a lot of praying. My father's an apostle in the Apostolic Church, also a businessman. And in a nutshell, I was very blessed. You know, I grew up with a very warm family, a lot of singing in the household, a lot of laughter, a lot of fighting, tug of war here and there. So I've been gifted. But I can't say that I carried that same gift in terms of my intellect. And I think that's where my story is. I think growing up, I wasn't the brightest tool. As a result, when we started preschool, we started late, my twin and I. And then grade 1, I managed to scave through. Grade 2, they were saying, I know this one, he's struggling. He must stay behind. I think that was the first or the deepest trauma in terms of looking back in time that happened to me. Because I think for me, from that point when my brother went to the next grade and the questions started coming, are you actually smart? Maybe you're stupid. Maybe you don't, you're not as special as you thought you were. That's where it kind of began, because I was in a in an all boys school, and you get these good schools.
They'll tease you, those
They'll
kids.
tease you, eh? Because it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that you fail once, you know.
100%.
So to be failing twice, you know, they used to call me Igala.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
What does that
mean? Igala. So Igala is it's pretty much someone who's just too old, you know.
Sure.
So it impacted my self-esteem a lot because I wanted to play sport, but I didn't want to because I felt like I had to expose that hey, there's this wound that I'm not smart because I'm 2 years behind. So I can't play sport because now under 9.
I'm 11.
I'm 11, you know, those types of things.
Sure.
So it was very, very traumatic. I remember even going just to things like inter-schools, you know, civics days, you know, very traumatic experiences where I would sit by myself in the corner, hoping they don't call my name. Because now they call you by your age. Oros, under 11, but I'm in grade, you know. So I have to stand up now in front of the whole school. You know, those are things I remember looking back. And, you know, I only actually even had the courage to speak about it when I got to university. Because as much as I was traversing through high school, this was something that I would always try to hide, you know? And then when I got to university, it was like, no, here people are 5 years older,
Yeah,
6
some
years,
people are
some
doing first year and
you know
they're 10 years old.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the first time I actually got free to feel like, okay. I'm not a sad case, or I'm not a failure, or I'm not, you know? So a lot of high school was painful. A lot of high school for me, I was hiding in the shadows. And as a result, I don't think I knew who I was in terms of my potential, because I was in many ways I was hiding who I could be, because even if I am fast, but I'm too old anyways, you know. So if I beat this guy, it's like but you old anyways, bro. You know, it was always that story. So I felt that any kind of gift or ability that I had.
It didn't matter because you
it was based on the fact that I'm older, not because I'm actually gifted. You know, but those are the tools that worked for me. Those are the tools that worked for me because when people speak about pain, it's something I knew when I was in grade 1, grade 2. You know, ridiculed, not making it. These things that people are meeting as adults. Oh, I failed. Hey, I got removed from my job. Think about a little boy with scrawny legs, you know, sitting in that corner, dealing with that. You know, I dealt with those things. And I dealt with them as a boy. You know, I was a boy, tender, I wasn't very confident at all. So when people tell me about challenges, I know it. I know that. And I think it worked for me in a big way when now I traverse. Because in acting, you audition. And a lot of the failure that people face is being rejection.
Yeah.
What is rejection to me? You know, in my context, in my mind, for me, it's but a light measure to what I faced because I was a kid back then.
It's more like you were rejected all your life. Now you're gonna be rejected for that 5 seconds.
Now
or
for 5 seconds, and I'm an adult. Now I've got the ability, a fortified, mature mind that can reason with the rejections that I face on the day-to-day basis. Then it was like a tender boy dealing with those things, you know? So those are the tools, just to give you a bit of a context as to the story behind the man. And I think many people, they look at me at first glance and say, this pretty boy.
Yeah.
How can he? It's like my friend. You have nothing.
He had an unfair advantage.
You know what I'm saying? Like my
He's
friend.
lighter than us now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking good English.
He's
You know
speaking
what
good
I'm saying?
English, yes.
Boy, yeah.
So, no. For me, I think those were the fortifying moments.
Yeah.
You know?
So we want to pause it there, but I want to come back
Yes.
to that story.
Yes.
Mr. Cheka,
Yeah, interesting.
what's your story,
Yeah,
my man?
I'm connecting with them. Like, yes, I have a lot of questions for this guy. But my story, brother, also very blessed, brother. I came from a father and a mother who was absolutely amazing. I don't have a lot of memories about my father because my father, 1997, 3 years after, 4 years after I was born, was diagnosed with what we call motor neuron disease.
Oh.
Okay. So motor neuron disease, he could not move. So the picture I have of my father is him just sitting on the couch. He needs someone to take him to the toilet. All of those things. You know what I mean? So, that was 97. Then he passed away 2002. 2002 he passes away. 2002 or 2003. When I'm 10 years old. Yeah, 2003, because 2003 I'm 10.
Mm-hmm.
Passes
So
away.
you lost your dad at 10?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. So then immediately during that time, my mom and dad worked very hard, very, very hard. So as a consequence, I didn't grow up in the township. And I say that to say, when they went into the suburbs, they were just making it. They just did enough to get out of the township. Get me into a good school. And maybe for a lot of people, they don't understand, especially those who did not go into a school where you are coming into the school with just making it money. You know what I mean? As a black child, I went to an Afrikaans school. Last school at the Valver. First language, I learned Afrikaans, home language. You understand?
Hey.
Yeah. I learned Afrikaans, home language. So, in that particular setting, one, you there with just making it money. Number two, I am a minority. In the whole school were 3 black people. So, and obviously, with that being said, you get to see what life could be like, but you're not experiencing it. You know what I mean? It's like when you can't just every day go your pocket money. Now, when it's kaftina sako, songa snipping a butter jam, and then you understand. And you're not the hot dog kind of a kid, because you here with just making it money, So man, and I constantly feel like I have to prove myself because I'm black amongst you have that overcompensation of things over and over and over. 2004, a year after my father passes away, my mother is faced with losing the house. Because all my father's debt now goes to my mom. The time they were separated. So I come home this day. I'm 11 years old. First time I ever seen my mom cry. Konje, when in the Xhosa culture, I'm not sure about your culture, but you don't see your mother cry. She's not allowed to cry in front of the kids. So even when my father passed away, she was in a room. But I never saw her cry. But the first day I saw her cry was the day when she was told that her house is now being repossessed. Yeah, well? So now the finality of now having to move back to the township, the place she had worked so hard for
to get away
from. You understand? And she's the first in the family to do A, B, C, D, and E. And my mom at the time is the hero. Because I remember my father didn't see much of him. Didn't have a lot of experience with him. The person who was my everything was my mother. So for the first time now I see my mom cry. That's where my entrepreneurial spirit then comes in. Because I knew one thing, that it was the one thing that made my mother cry was the absence of mine. Yeah, I understand. So it drove my whole disposition. My whole inclination was being the kind of, Lonabo was saying something when I was, and it hit hard. It's like, no, the only reason why you're successful is because you love your mother so much, you don't want to disappoint. You understand? So me and my mother had a very little close relationship. Didn't want to see her cry, didn't want nothing. You understand? So the question was then, Mom, what do I need to become to make you proud? She said, my child, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, have good money, take after me. Throughout my whole schooling career, I was beating those white kids. I been my shy scared. You know what I mean? I was the top at everything. Top 3 student throughout my whole school, went on to study engineering, and I ended up in Port Elizabeth. But immediately, 3 years after in my job, I resigned. And that's when I moved on with being an entrepreneur. But it was...
So you're an overachiever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm picking up something in both your stories.
Firstly, we're opposite. You were smart, I was dumb.
Okay, there's that one.
I wish.
You was the smart one. You were the dumb one.
Now you know why he sticks around me. Like, bro, is this the right decision?
But there's something that I'm picking up from both of you, which is hardship.
Yeah.
Irrespective of the kind of background either of you came from, whether there was the father or not, whether there was both father and mother, whether father passed on or lived, it seemed that you enjoyed a certain kind of hardship based on what life had dealt to you at the time? For instance, with you, because of the failure that took place when you were younger, because you were struggling with school, life became slightly harder for you. I mean, just going through primary school, high school, was just hardship.
Yeah.
And then you, on the other hand, are one of the few black kids in a school. Your mindset was tormented. You know, so how does one deal with the hardship that comes with being in such environments? And it could translate into any other area of life where there's hardship. How do you guys deal with it?
You know, I think for me, the first thing before dealing is embracing.
Can you say that again?
Before dealing with hardship, you need to embrace it. And it's one thing that I've kind of seen as a tether throughout my life, is that once I am accustomed to the fact that, okay, I am going into war, then my mindset becomes ready and equips itself to take on or to deal with the challenges of war. Now, I think many cases, people have an expectation, and this is something I also kind of say a lot, or I believe a lot, especially for young men, that they should take on and go move into the world with the mentality that they need to earn and they need to fight for everything that will come. And everything that is on top of that is just a cherry. So you get anything that you're privileged to, you can say, that's a cherry on top, but everything, move into the world with the expectation that you will need to earn your place, that you will need to fight your place into whatever space. Because in many cases, the difficulty that people face is more of a culture shock when something happens. It's like when you go to gym, when people want to transform their bodies, once they gym the first week and their bodies start to ache, because they weren't expecting it, now they don't want that feeling, they retract, they don't go back. You get what I'm saying? But if you go in saying, I'm going to train the first week and my body's going to be sore, you understand this is a process in towards the objective. So in many cases, I think people, there's not enough realization of what people need to go through to endeavor through day-to-day life. And the more you prepare yourself and get yourself acquainted with the fact that, you know what, as I rise up this morning, it is a beautiful day, but everything that comes or that I desire, I will earn. Yeah. Then your mindset kind of like shifts to a perspective where you say, okay, now when something happens, I can navigate. So I think a big path.
Is this something you picked up later on in life as an adult, or did you embrace it even at the times where you were going through it as a kid?
This is what I think. I had a very emotional time with myself, realizing that, you know, the first time I had this type of a conversation, because, like I said, I spoke about this at a later stage in my life. And speaking about it publicly, I never thought I'd ever speak publicly about in my life, the position that I was in. So I think I realized that it was there, but it was more of a, there's nothing I can do about this. You know, I'm not going to now skip forward. Or I'm not going to, this is taking around, and you look and you're in grade 2 and you say, I'm going to grade 12. Okay. As there's still a lot. There's still a lot ahead, you know. So now it's like, okay, this is painful, but this is the way it is. So I think it helped as much as it was painful. And when I think back, I still get a bit teary-eyed thinking about that little boy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I think there was a natural acceptance. And then when I realized and I looked back, I was like, oh, that's how you got through. Because I was still very grateful. I was still very prayerful. I was still very delightful. It's not like I was a bitter young boy, you know. So I accepted it and I maneuvered irregardless. And when I realized that there was a tool that helped me, I just figured out ways to maybe be more conscious of that decision.
Yeah. And you, Mr. Cheka?
I think with me, I mean, obviously, wisdom is retrospective. You always develop wisdom looking back, right? It's hard to develop wisdom.
Are you saying you were not wise?
At the time, I know obviously there was no technique that I was like, this is what I'm gonna do because it's hard.
Sure.
I feel like there's a level of potential that is always unlocked in the midst of hardship. There's a new you that you'll never discover until you go through something that you've never gone through before. You understand?
Yeah.
And so for me, there were new tendencies, inclinations, and proclivities that I had experienced simply because I was in that situation. So because I was in hardship, there was a subconscious thing of, okay, fine, there's no girl who's gonna want me here. Me just being G. But okay, who do the girls
Where?
want?
At school?
At high school, yeah.
High school?
Yeah, high school.
Was it an all-white high school?
White and colored, my brother.
Or they didn't want you?
In the beginning, hello.
Sorry, my man.
Yeah, no.
Hey, you went through a tougher situation than mine. Yo, you're high school, man. Hey.
No, not high school, bro.
I'm joking.
Look, in the beginning, it didn't. Like, don't you black. You understand? It's big swart, they would say. You understand?
Yo, your self-esteem then?
Yo.
Hey, bro. So let me tell you again, a couple of stuff. I had great teachers, great teachers. You know that kept on feeding my ego. They fed it. Right now,
White teachers.
yeah, white teachers. They fed my ego.
That's good.
They fed my ego.
That was good of
Even
them,
right
yeah.
now, like I have this thing of yes. So with them, if I did something, I think because I was the only black, they gave a lot of attention to over celebrating me over small things I did. You understand? So at that particular,
Oh, they were surprised. Ooh, a black person can do this.
maybe you know, but maybe because I mean,
Look at this.
Look at you.
understand? So I go to primary. There's no. I'm the one loving this girl. No. But I realized, okay, EIOT, that is the famous guy, the popular guy scared. He's my friend. This guy runs fast. So if I could run fast, maybe now, it has nothing to do with me being black at the time. With that, you understand? But I just saw with the a bump. So, but then I did rugby. So the more I became great at rugby, I was scoring tries. I was that guy and I was scared. You know what I mean? So I then discovered, okay, amongst these people, the more I achieve, the more popular I become amongst them. You understand? So if I, in grade 11, I have started having anger problems, I do martial arts. Grade 12, I'm South African champion. I'm on newspapers in my neighborhood. I'm famous. So, you understand? But it all starts...
You're elevated in society.
No, now I'm from man. Now you get love. You know, I don't know if you experience...
Those letters that they used to...
Yeah, those letters. You also
hold.
Yeah, you know those at is it Valentine's Day? They'll come with letters. What they'll do is they'll come to every class. They will drop certain letters for those people. So from at early stages of my primary, there was no letters coming to me. And when I started achieving well, started becoming a top 3 student, prefect, all of those things, they were coming. So for me, I always, that's when it occurred to me that, man, you don't matter if you don't, for me, that's what I said. Like, the only way to
That's
matter
interesting.
is to succeed.
Yeah.
When as a person. So this whole thing of, I'm not succeeding because I'm black, no. So for me, as a young child, I need to succeed to be important. If I don't succeed, I'm going to be important. That's how I felt. You understand? So that was so for me, that hardship forced me to want to become accepted. And how to become accepted, looking, okay, who's accepted amongst... Okay, let me do what this guy is doing. Let me see if I can do it better than him. Oh, okay, so I'm also celebrated now. You understand? So there's no longer a black thing after, as time went on. So, as I'm saying, now looking back, now the wisdom is there. There's obviously a difference as to how I handle the hardships back then versus now is quite different, right?
Yeah.
Very, very different. Right now, it's always, but the principles are the same. What can I do now? Let's say you're going through a hardship, there's a series of hardships that I've gone through, but I obviously now have a more wiser approach to hardships.
Yes.
I was I wrote a post 2 days ago about the importance of losing and how losing can actually contribute, or it's your price ticket to your biggest win. So as much as I said I became an engineer and all of those things, but there's something I don't say. I failed my second year.
Yeah.
I failed my second year because 2013 my lung collapses in school. My lung.
Your lung.
Yes.
Okay.
Hours later, I'm inside an ambulance. I'm on my way to high school, to the hospital. A couple of tests later, I'm told I have TB and pneumonia. And then I'm told, and at that time, as was the last test series, you can't go write exams without DP. It's the last test series, and I'm told that you won't be able to go write those tests. So I have to go repeat this whole semester the following year. So I do that. It's sad because my mother's paying for me. Didn't have NSFAS and stuff like that. So fast forward, it's 2014. I have to repeat the same year. My friends are in front of me, and I could have, some of them, are applying for jobs and all of those things. So I'm repeating. Now, because I'm repeating, what happens? I come late to class. Because I'm getting a repeat. So I never come on time. So this day I come to class, and the only chair that is open is, there's one chair. It's only open because I'm getting late. Because I'm repeating this class. I don't have to come early. I know what they're going to say. So I come in, I sit there next to this person that I'm sitting with. And today that person is my wife.
Oh, that's how you met your wife?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now, she is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. But that comes in me. So the question is, if I did not fail, or if I didn't,
Would you have ever met her?
I don't know. You know what I mean? So for me, it's
Not
like,
under those circumstances.
Yeah.
at
You wouldn't
least
have
not under
met
those
her.
circumstances.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like there's that presence of mind that during Hardship, I don't know why this is happening. I really don't know why. But what I do know is that I don't care what happens, but this will work out for the best somewhere, somehow. And so for me, that level of acceptance of hardship. There's a level of acceptance of hardship. It's okay. But now the problem is I don't accept good things to happen without hardships happening first. That's now the psychological thing that I tend to, that way I have to work through.
Yeah.
So when I count this is how I'm gonna grow financially, whatever the case may be, from here to here, I'm always expecting, okay, I'm gonna go to 2-3 different difficult time. Let me prepare myself for this.
So Oros, tell me, how does, taking from what Neo is saying, how does then a young man or a man build his value? I mean, you said that a young man inherently has no value when they're young.
Yes.
And they have to earn their place in society. So someone would listen to you and say, I see privilege is talking.
Yeah.
How can they intentionally then build that value?
No, I think, it begins with personal development, Because I think in many cases where we kind of miss it is that we, especially because of the world that we find ourselves in, we opt to find success externally. So say, what car am I driving? What houses am I driving? What clothes am I wearing? All of those types of things. And we work on the elements that will bring that to us. Whereas I believe it starts internally. First and foremost, for me personally, it starts spiritually. You see, finding that center that I can know that irregardless of how things may move, I will have that pole that I know that I can hold on to. And then it goes to integrity or ethics. Once you solidify your integrity and your ethics, you move on now to your character. Then once you move and you've built your character, then it goes to knowledge. Once you've built your knowledge, then now you enjoy who you are and what you have amassed as an individual to benefit whatever endeavor that you're trying to pursue. I believe that if you intrinsically have those things intact, it allows you within any place that you move in life for you to thrive and to be successful.
100%.
So it begins with internal success. I won't repeat those things because I don't remember them now, but I was connecting with them when I was saying them, And then those elements, once they are strong and once those elements are solidified from the inner man, then I think it becomes so much easier to work out. outwards from there. Then it's a game. Then it becomes a game, because now you're a fortified warrior. Now, if you are that fortified warrior, it's like, okay, what game do you want to play? Business, or do you want to be an expert in one field of expertise? Do you want to be now? Everything is the playing field, because you are the perfect gamer to explore. You know what I'm saying?
How did you get yourself to the winning side in terms of your career, the work that you do as an actor, the work that you do as a businessman? How did you place yourself on the winning side?
It was a lot. I think, firstly, I got okay with failing. I think a lot of people struggle with.
What does that mean? You know, I've heard that a lot when somebody says, I got okay with failing. But when you go deeper with that statement, what does it actually entail or mean?
I think it goes back to what I was saying, you know, being prepared to fall and then get up and continue, you know. Like for me, I remember when straight out of university, I partnered up with my two friends, Umba Samsong and Ayanda Makai. And we said that we're gonna make it by any means necessary. As a result, when we came back from after school holiday, after we graduated, we finished school, we went to December, we came back. When we came back, our mindset was that we're gonna audition, we're gonna prepare like nobody had ever done in history. When people would do 10 auditions in 2 months, we would do 30, we would do 40. You get what I'm saying? But now to be able to do that, you have to be very resilient. So it started with the discipline of preparing more than the person next to me. It started with the process of going further in terms of rehearsing and doing everything. So when we would I would get a brief, and we would prepare the entire day. And not just prepare the script, we would create the backstory of the character. We would adopt an effective personality of the character. We would characterize that character. We would master the script back and forth. By the time we finished, it's 2 a.m. We're waking up in the morning to go to the audition. We wake up in the morning. We do the audition for ourselves until we feel comfortable. We go to the audition. We smash it. We get there. We don't get the role. We go to the next. 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 You get what I'm saying? That takes character. Because like we said, it's like going to a work interview. You have ever been going to a job interview? But now you're going to a job interview 4 times a week. 5 times a week. That takes a lot. Like it's emotionally, it's the anxiety, the what, everything. Having to deal with carrying that. It's not just the preparing. It's preparing for that work interview Monday, and another one Tuesday, and another one Wednesday, another one Thursday, another. You know, so I think that's a way that I can quantify it in a way.
And every brief was different.
Yeah,
every brief is different. Expecting a different you.
Every script is different.
What made me strong was that I could embrace the failure. So when I don't get the call back, it's not I don't think I can do this. It's okay, let's move. Okay, let's move. It was so now the pace that I was moving at, because of the level of hits I could take, was far more than the person next door. Which means the likelihood of success was far higher, because I was running through more auditions than the usual person, which increased my likelihood for success. So failure conditions you to be able to move further. So if you are, whatever job or whatever business that you're running into, when you take a hit, most people lag. There's this lag effect that occurs for the normal person when they experience hardship, like post-traumatic moment. People, it's like, okay, I'll sit in, you know,
Me time.
Me time, I need to, and then say, okay, Oros, man, we must. Me, I was quadrupling in that period, because I wouldn't lag. I would keep going so I could get more done. So I was getting more roles. So I was breaking through faster. So I was, so people are like, Oros show. How is he? Oros is breaking. He's like he's getting all these shows. Chief. I'm moving faster.
Yeah.
You know? So that was the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was the game.
That's interesting, ne?
100%.
In the sense that he was doing more, meaning he was failing more.
Yes.
Therefore, the result of the times he succeeded, he was actually succeeding more than
Yes.
the average person that's not doing more.
It's a numbers game.
What do you think of that?
100%.
Neo?
Look, man, in life.
And now you must tell the viewers what you do.
Okay, cool.
Pella, you're not famous like Oros.
Ah!
You're forgetting. We know who he is.
So you must remember, you must remind me of that video. Eh? I was posting.
So, I resigned from my job 2018. But at that time, I'd started part-time.
You're an engineer then?
Yeah.
What sort of engineer? Let
Electrical.
them know that
Electrical.
you went to school.
Electrical.
Electrical engineering,
Yeah,
that?
yeah. That.
Okay.
Please don't, people, electrical, no, I was not fixing.
Heavy current.
No, I was designing.
Designing,
So,
okay.
Yes, I was in the designing engineering field. And in my second year, I started developing a sense for building a part-time business. Went into network-based entrepreneurship. I mean, I did a lot of businesses whilst I was working as an engineer. Lots failed, left, right, and center. But then 2017, my break comes. I get involved into network-based entrepreneurship. I was 24 at the time. I made enough money to obviously retire the following year at 25. And then from there, been full-time into entrepreneurship, network-based entrepreneurship. And what that basically means is that you are a simple distributor of a product and service that you believe, building teams, helping people market, but most importantly, positively impacting people, with a particular product or service, right? So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's not just a nobody. He's successful.
Yeah, I know.
He's also successful.
Yeah.
Or else you're not the only one who's successful.
Yeah, no, we are.
I wanted us to cover that part. Now, tell us about the times where you've experienced failure and you had to push through. I mean, if you think of network marketing, I think I can also compare it to going for auditions. Every time you're speaking to a person, you're auditioning. You're selling something. You're selling yourself. You want to convince them to buy into your story.
Sure.
Story,
100%,
acting.
100%.
So I'm sure you gotten a lot of no's.
A lot.
I'm sure you were tempted to give up.
So for me, it's quite simple. As I said, one of the things about being an engineer is that you count the cost. So I go to a guy, my first mentor.
Yeah.
He at that time, he was trending with the story of making $1 million a month. So I go to him. I ask him,
Is that
"Son?"
Fox?
Yeah, for number for long.
Yeah.
In the Eastern Cape, it was the first to have ever done it in our industry. So I go to him. Said, "Boss, how many people did you have to speak to?" He said, 10,000. Said, "How many people said yes to you?" 200. But the 200,
It's a numbers game.
exactly. But the 200 brought me, tens of thousands. You understand? Of people that then brought me millions of dollars worth of revenue. Okay. So for me to sit, what do I need to do? So this person's gonna say no. This person's gonna say no. Oh, okay, cool. So for me, the first thing is don't become emotionally attached to the result. That's the first thing. You know about failure. The thing about failure most times is we are more afraid about how other people are gonna see us as failures than failing itself. We are more concerned about the perception of failure than failure.
Failure itself.
You understand? That is what I discovered. What are people gonna think? Oh, that person. You know what I mean? You're more concerned, and that's why even today, a lot of people want the perception of success than success itself.
What do you mean by that? A lot of people want
People wanna
the perception of success than success itself.
Yeah, now we're touching now.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking.
and I'm
to
gonna
them
talk
now.
to you.
Yeah.
When we talk about witness success, when you talk about oral success, right? And you talk about the fact that how many sleepless nights do you have? How many disappointments do you go through? You do seminars all across the country. How many people respond to what you teach, right? But they are more concerned about the fact that you posted that you are sitting in a hotel. And to them, they're like, if I could duplicate the posting, I'm okay with duplicating the posting.
just be seen,
No,
be
no,
seen
I'm
at the
okay.
hotel.
And
The
when
hotel, the lifestyle.
you are busy trying to teach. No, get it for yourself. No. Bona by phone le
Funny soft life.
No. In fact, bafuna a perception of soft life. Yeah, guys, soft life.
Oh, okay.
They don't want the soft life.
They don't want it.
Boss, whatever you want, you go for. Whatever you don't hate, you'll eventually tolerate. As a person, ask yourself, whatever position you find yourself in that you hate, you always find a way to do something about it. Well, that is why Malcolm X says, whatever you don't hate, you will eventually tolerate. The reason why you tolerate a lack of a soft life, it is because you don't hate it enough. But the reason why, what will happen, as long as people don't see it, it's fine. So, I'll post as if, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You understand? Because 90% of these people, 90% of the people posting their life, ne? It will be okay you are posting it and then meanwhile you're working to match that life. 90% of the people, they're not concerned about working for it. They're not.
It's the glory without the story.
They want the glory without the story. So you find that people who eventually become success, they want success. They truly want success. Now I know this sounds very controversial because the whole idea is, who doesn't want to succeed? I always go back. Whatever it is you do not want, the bully you did not want, you eventually, if you hate it enough,
You stand up.
you stand up to it. The poverty you do not want, eventually someday you'll stand up to it. If you don't want it. And if you hate it. Because I need acceptance. Sometimes as people we learn to become uncomfortable with what we're not supposed to be comfortable with. There's a degree of acceptance, witness, that you have to embrace. Or unacceptance that you have to embrace to break out of all. Because you're going to face difficulties, but the only thing that's going to get you through those difficulties is you refusing to accept the current status quo. So the difference between, and I'm going to be very general here, I'm not going to be specific, but the difference between the people who eventually make it and people who don't is that it's the degree of not accepting the status quo. I mean, yeah, so we can be fancy and try to be all philosophical about it, but there's an element of acceptance and or unacceptance that one has to embrace to take their life and value to the next level.
Are those standards, Oros? Could we say those are standards? If somebody says Minangzula Langadlang, is that a standard?
Yes,
that they've set?
I think we are governed by standards, just naturally in life, and we kind of set ourselves up and we live and experience life based on the standards that we set, and it becomes a matter of how far down are you not willing to go, or how far up are you willing to push. So there's a box of an idea of an experience that you believe that you're going to have, you know, and what the funny thing about the mind is that once you've set that standard, your life moves in that direction. It's a weird thing. I don't know if you know of it's a subject called NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. So what they say, I'm not going to be very long about this. I'm going to just make it very simplified. So the mind takes in 2 billion bits of information every second, right? So because the mind is taking in so much information, in order for it to not be overwhelmed by all the information, what it does is that it distills, distorts, and generalizes the information that it gets. So just to give you an idea, so it will move all that information and will simplify it. So, for example, you buy your you say your favorite car is what's your any favorite car?
Yeah, you know me.
Okay.
Oros.
Lambo. Okay, let's say you like a Lamborghini Oros. Okay, let's say it's an Audi. You like Audi.
Not Lamborghini Oros. Urus.
Oros. The Lamborghini Oros. My one. It's a Lamborghini Oros. You know, so let's say for example Audi. Okay, you see Audi and you say, oh my gosh, I love this white Audi. And then all of a sudden, at every turn, this Audi that you never used to be seeing months ago, that you now have finally seen, when you're turning, you're seeing this Audi. You're seeing this Audi. This Audi. Now you think, hey God, what are you telling me? Yes, it's God. I'm not denying that. But what the mind has done is that of the information that was unnecessary where this car used to pass. Now the mind has registered that information is necessary and distilled it, distorted and generalized it amongst what you are focusing on. And now you see that Audi more often because it's in the peripheral of your focus here. You see. So let's go back to standards. Standards are the idea or the ideal that you've set for yourself, right? It's a belief that you take on. It's all relative. There's no real. All of these are ideas that we've set in our mind, but are all in if I can say, an illusion or an imagination. There's nothing that we really don't deserve or that we do deserve. All of it is where we choose to place ourselves in the spectrum of the reality we experience. Okay? So now, the standard you set is what puts you in a mind shift to move, experience, and expect the things that will happen or that you go for. So, I could tell you right now, I could say that I want R1 billion. Just like anyone can say that they want R1 billion. But it's the moment you believe and that you start believing that that is my standard, that your emotions will start to move you to the places, the people, the environments, I can go on and on and on, that will bring that into your life. So you'll start seeing people that you never saw when you said, I believe I can have R1 billion. Then now you'll be like, I need to talk to him. Because like that Audi, that person you never used to notice, now you notice him. Now you start to say, oh, I want to sit and be in these types of environments because like that Audi that you never saw, now you see it.
100%.
So now you start to move and align yourself with experiences that will bring these things into your life.
100%.
Standards are not us saying that, oh, I know you are privileged. We are saying, guys, this is what I'm putting to you. We are saying, you work on your belief. You shift your belief to a place where what you want is yours. Yeah. What will happen is that the mind will generalize and move away things that don't belong to the experience that you deserve, and will focus the things that you do. And what you start to becoming interested in on YouTube will no longer now be these funny things that you used to be. Now all of a sudden you're interested in houses that you never used to be interested in. Now you're interested in information that you never used to be interested in.
Yes.
Now you're used to tactics and strategies or environments that you never used to be interested in. You are being molded anew.
100%.
From where you used to be.
To now.
You're being distilled, you're being distorted, and you're being focused into a new being. But it begins with your standard.
So now can we call that the algorithm of life?
100%. It is, brother.
That's a nice one.
It is the algorithm of life. You said it you put it very beautifully.
One.
And I think, again, it all starts off with, as I said, I think maybe I put it in a way where I said there's an element of acceptance you need to have.
Yes.
And there's an element of unacceptance. When you have accepted that the billion, the million, the 100,000, whatever the goal, vision, and dream you have, when you have accepted that, the next level must be you must live not to accept where you. There must be a level of intolerance of where you are. That is why I always tell when people say get out, you must not be comfortable. That's the whole idea of not being comfortable. Don't be comfortable. Now, there's a difference between being content and satisfied. Two different things. I agree that you should be content, but not satisfied.
Yeah, can you give us the breakdown of the two words? Contentment, satisfaction?
Contentment says, this is what I have. And I will make the best out of what I have to have more than what I have. I'm not saying I deserve more from you to give me, but I will use what I have to serve in the best way possible. You know what I mean? So that I can have what I do not have. What I satisfied said, I'm okay, it's fine, this is just enough. I'm not looking for more. I'm not expecting anything, I'm not expecting more. For me, that's the difference between being obviously content and being satisfied. But the whole idea, and especially going back to what Oros was saying, so they in NLP, they also call it the reticular activating system. that once you focused on something and you want it really, really bad,
Guys at home, us the simple ones call it the blue t-shirt effect. Continue that.
you begin to meet it's like an algorithm that you put it very beautifully. The more you focus on watching certain kind of videos on Instagram, on YouTube, those things they will recommend the same thing to you.
The same thing to you.
Same thing.
And the brain does that.
Does the same thing.
It does
It's
the
the same thing,
You
yeah.
understand? So, when we talk and we teach, and I mean, I had the privilege of, we've gone on stages, and I'm going to give you a story. I'm going to give you a simple story.
Yeah. We want the story. Yeah.
I'm sitting 2014, studying Vusiti and Begwai. How is this guy?
VT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
VT. And you're like, yes, it's one day. I don't know how, I don't know. This guy's going to be. Like, low. You know what I mean? I don't know how. So I get involved in this business, and and because of the business we're in, and the bigger you grow, you also tend to have speaking tendencies. You speak in front of crowds, hundreds, thousands of people, all across. You begin to do tours, and lo and behold, 2020, we invite Vusi to speak at our event for the first time, and I'm starstruck. I can't believe. A year later, we speak on the same stage. I know, right? And then a year later, we do business together. Now, in your mind, you ask yourself, where did it start? So someone will come to you and ask you, Mr. Witness, how did you become what you... There's something about you wanting it first. The how will always follow as a consequence of you wanting something really, really bad.
Focus.
I was in Eastern Cape, Port Elizabeth. Vusi is in Johannesburg. If you look back, there's no link between us two. I did not know someone
It didn't
who knew
make sense.
It just did not make sense.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is, do we have the guts to want it when you do not see how
it can happen?
And how did you two smart people end up together?
Exactly. Yeah, that's
I want to get to that one. Because eventually you guys are doing business together.
Yes.
As we draw to a close, you guys are doing business together. Did you know you'd be working with actors, my man?
No. But, let me put it to you this way. You know what happened?
Yeah.
2022. Beginning of 2022. It's like, this is the year when now my time to get known is coming.
2022?
Yeah.
You are known.
Well.
But I knew you.
Yeah, but I mean relatively.
Oh, relatively.
He wanted to go to the next level.
Relatively.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So and I'm going to start dealing with people who are known.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Put it bluntly. Say famous people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Known and respected. Let me put it to you that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't like the word famous?
Yeah, it's too
I'll
loose
help
sometimes.
You. Famous people.
It's too loose sometimes.
It's too loose.
Yeah.
Okay. Respected famous people.
Yeah, respected famous people. Let's put it that way.
Sharp.
And I didn't know how. So my brother is the person who was much closer to Oros, or started a relationship with Oros than me. My younger brother.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, now you should meet Oros. And we stay in the same estate, right? We met at the gym. I say, hey, nice guy. We meet each other. But then there's something that it kept on happening, especially towards...
Did you know he was famous or you didn't know?
No, of course you know Oros is famous.
Okay.
Come on, man. If you don't know this guy...
I'm making sure that their TV is where it comes from.
I
want to make sure you've got a TV, my man.
How far is this success?
Exactly.
But it was during a time where, to be honest with you, I did not know where I know him from. But I know that this guy is famous. You know that...
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen that, but like famous people carry an energy, but I don't know. But
I know what you mean. I knew he's famous, but I didn't know.
I don't know. Exactly.
But I know he's famous.
He's famous. So for me, it was the same thing. Like, because at the time I was not watching much TV.
You don't have one. It's fine.
Nah, I'm not. So not watching a lot of TV, I didn't know. But I could tell this guy's famous. But but there's something about whenever we are together at the gym. I think there was a week straight. We even said, look, bruh, we have to stop talking at the gym. Because we don't stop.
Yeah, we don't stop. Yeah, we always...
Oh, you guys didn't gym. You said you...
We intended. The intentions were there, but...
Yeah.
Sorry, something went...
But nothing was... Like, we were not able to gym. Then Spumasiya, man... And then from there, what happened?
And then I approached him. So I approached him while we were talking, and then he started giving me content because I wanted to get into the industry that he was in at the time. Well, that he's in. Yeah, and I was like, no, man, my brother, you've amassed a lot of success in this space. And I'm someone that believes that if you want to bypass a lot of errors and mistakes, go to people who've been successful in a particular field and be mentored by them so that you can be in a position where you can, the mistakes that you'd make, you don't have to make, you can bypass certain and kind of maybe jumpstart yourself a few years ahead. Mm-hmm. So I met with him and I was like, hey, my brother, can you help me out? I'm trying to get into, this network-based industry. I know the potential of it because my father was successful in it. And the reason why... In network marketing. Yeah. So my father, very successful. He actually, for the last few years, he's been the top earner in IFA, which is a derivative of clientele life. Yeah. So that company, he's been the top earner for the past few years now, So I knew the power of the industry itself because, number one, I was able to go to the best schools in the country because of it. My parents, we went to... 4 of the kids went to AFDA being paid from my parents even at some point, same time. So there was around 400,000 that my parents were just putting out to school because, So, and I traveled a lot of the world. So I experienced a lot of privilege in my life because of the power of the industry and how it had impacted us as kids, you see. So obviously, my father was like, hey, when I was a kid, he was like, hey, do this industry, my boy. This thing is powerful. Dad, I want to be an artist, Dad. No, Dad, I want to act. So I went to act, And then you as you act, I'm going to make this one very quick. As you act, obviously, you carry on, but it's not Hollywood money. It's nice money, but it's not Hollywood actor money. You get what I'm saying? And I want to give my kids the life that my parents gave me because they gave us a lot of privilege, you see. So I was like, okay, you see what I'm going to do? While I'm doing this acting, I'm going to diversify. See, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go into entrepreneurship. I'm going to be a restaurateur. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this industry as well. Sure. Of network marketing. So that's how I met him because I wanted to scale and diversify myself and grow in this industry. And he was like, okay, no, it's not a problem. At the time, I wasn't thinking of the company to partner up with the company that we are currently partnered up with. But I wanted him to at least just give me the ropes. So he was just someone who was just like, okay, Oros, this is how you approach this. Because he's amazing. Honestly, he's top tier when you're talking mentorship and guidance. Because a lot of people make unnecessary mistakes and then they blame the industry for the mistakes that they make because of the lack of guidance, you see. Mm-hmm. So he was someone that just was a great assistance, And then we finally partnered up at the beginning of this year. No. Do you want to... What?
Yeah, well, we started becoming close beginning of the year. Like really, really tight.
Yes. Closer to the end of... I think it was 3 months ago that we partnered up. But before that, we started also going into martial arts together. We do MMA, we go to classes. And then we finally partnered up a few months ago.
Yeah, I think we just became friends. Yeah. It started with real friendship, honestly.
Yeah.
I was helping him in his business. And, we just created this beautiful vibe. And us partnering was a consequence of our friendship. Yeah. Trust, knowing me, knowing you.
So what are you guys working on now? How do people find you? How do people look up some of the projects that you're doing?
Yeah, 100%. So people obviously find Oros on Oros Mampofu.
Oros_Mampofu, yes. On all social media platforms.
Yes, me, Neo Cheka on all social media platforms as well. And then we are right now, we are partnered with an amazing company that is in the private equity space, and simply helping people multiply their money, you understand, and also build a network. For me, I love the industry. As he said, his father is an OG in the industry. Yeah. So me, I'm more about also.
So you are the OG of the industry as well.
He is the new age OG.
The new age OG.
The new age OG.
The new age OG, man. I'm a legend.
You're a legend. Embrace it.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
I am a legend.
Yeah.
But you'll know.
Yeah. So any parting words? I mean, that camera is for you guys, right?
This one,
do you wanna
No, you can start. Speak
Yeah.
to the viewer at home. You know, we've got a lot of people that might be discouraged.
Sure.
You know, and all of us sitting here, there's a calling upon our lives.
100%.
You know, God will not give you that kind of influence that you have,
Sure.
and the kind of abilities that you have, just in J. There's a reason and there's a purpose for that. And perhaps this podcast, this interview could be one of the reasons. And I know you've got some words for the guy that's discouraged, dejected, and is looking for someone to just inspire him. You got something to say to that guy?
100%. First thing is, you need to understand one thing, that you were created in the image of a creator. You were created in the image of God.
Yeah.
You are important, and most importantly, there's something important that you are put on this planet to do. You are not a bundle of cell moving across the planet. You are specifically created to do something hugely significant. And you probably are frustrated by a couple of things. One is you believe that there's a lot to do. The only reason why you are frustrated is that inside of you understand there's something greater that you should be doing, but you don't know how, you don't know where to start. But I want to encourage you to first, number one, continue watching things like this. Continue partnering and, putting yourself in spaces and places like Abo Witness Mtago. Why? Because you're creating an environment for yourself to unlock your potential. Because it doesn't help being a great seed planted in bad soil. The crop will be bad, right? So the first thing, and as I always encourage people, make sure you plug yourself in environments that are conducive for your success. Attend seminars, connect to workshops, connect to businesses and systems that's going to grow you. So as religious that it might have sound, but I'm giving you practical steps right now. Plug into people that shall power you towards your potential and destiny. God bless you.
That's it. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
Mr. Mampofu.
I think what I want to say is that I know a lot of the stuff that we can say can seem easier said than done. And, when you're in a very dark place and your life is gray, and you're depressed and you don't know how to get out of this little hole that you seem to have found yourself in, it can feel so impossible. I want to share with you that you're not alone, number one. You're not alone. Even us, don't be confused by what you see on social media. We understand. We get it. We understand. And my advice to you is this. Get yourself surrounded by people that you look up to, that speak a message that can bring life to you, that can take you out of that place and give you the number one thing, which is hope. From the place of hope, there's potential. There's limitless potential. But know that you're not alone. We, myself and Neo, will have a community of people. My passion, beyond even acting, is to transform the human condition. To shift someone from a place where they don't believe to a place where they understand that anything is possible. We've partnered up together in many ventures, but both of our passion is that we want to transform, we want to impact, we want to serve. We're in a country that is dealing with a lot of things, and I don't want to get into that. But what I do want to get into is the fact that there are people that are in a place where they are trying to be stronger and they want to assist people on their journey of being stronger as well. You can follow us, reach out to us. If you do want to be a part of our community, a part of our team, a part of people who genuinely do care. I honestly believe this. I'm not someone who genuinely says I genuinely do care. Because I've always felt like that comes with a level of pretension, if that is even a word. But we genuinely do care. And we are here to listen, we are here to serve, we are here to encourage, and we are here to partner up if you do want to partner up. You guys are capable of anything, and I wish you all the best. And as you say, see you at the top.
Because the bottom is overcrowded.
Hey!
And that's it from us. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was an amazing conversation. If you believe it was just like I think it was, please click on that like button, click on that subscribe button, comment, let us know what your thoughts are. If you're new here, click on the notifications bell so that you don't miss any of our inspiring interviews. Now, gentlemen, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Time flew so fast. I enjoyed.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed my conversation with you guys,
yeah.
and I hope the viewers at home also enjoyed it. Until next time, it's more than just money. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah.
And it's when we met again, eh?
And it's Ucho.
I was actually wondering how I'm gonna do this.